Hello everyone, welcome to listen to my book review for an interview of Harold Miles Tanner's. So Harold Miles Tanner written very famous book, a lot of Chinese books. Basically, one of the books that I write for today is The Battle for Manchuria and the Fate of China, Siping, 1946. So basically, most people wonder the Battle of Manchuria began in 1931 on August 18th. But why this happened in 1946 for Siping city? So let's me to explore for that. So basically, this book is talk about the communists and the nationalists, which is CCP and Kuomintang. They were all battle for Manchuria during Civil War periods. And the communists and nationalists want to attack Siping because the regions has such wonderful places. And communists exit the battles during the George Marshall return visit to China for attackment. Mao trying to be unified for all the places in China and want to maintain the Manchuria into the China mainland places. However, Chiang Kai-shek really want to be forced away because Chiang Kai-shek make a mess for mainland China. We talk about lots of for Manchuria, so we have to know that why the Manchuria is important for all the peoples, especially for Japanese, for Chinese. So Manchuria was very rich for the minerals, which is for the natural resources, for raw materials and fertile soils. And around the period of World War One, Zhang Zuolin was a famous general for that. And he was also very powerful warlord in Manchuria areas. Manchuria was divided by four parts. The first part is Heilongjiang, and second part is Jilin, third part is Liaoning, the last part is partial of the Inner Mongolias. As we can see that Manchuria was a very large region, but we have to know why the authors trying to deliver the message why the battle for Manchuria happened in Siping. So now let's welcome for our guest Harold Miles Tanner to talk about his books.
Now I want to ask some questions about it. The first question is, before you write this book, do you know where is Manchuria?
Honestly, I know the China, but I don't know that specific for China parts because like I'm writing for China for only partial of them, but I know the China is very big countries. But after I writing this book, I know where Manchuria is.
Okay, next question is, I know you graduated at the University of Los Texas. How did you organize this piece of research work into a book and made one of the most crucial Chinese Civil War battle in front of many historical scholars?
I know it's very hard work to put all the pieces into one book. So basically, at first I have to know where Siping is. So because Siping in majority of Chinese people, we know that it's happening in the Jilin province. But for the foreigners reading for this book, we never know where Siping is. We have to know the city of that. Secondly, that we have to know the civil war between Chiang Kai-shek and Mao Zedong, why they have the conflicts for that. We all know China is a unification country. We never believe that have a conflict upon it. And third, we know that George Marshall in 1945 came to the China trying to break the ice between Chiang Kai-shek and Mao Zedong between the Battle of Siping. So we all hoping that nationalism and communism can stop fighting when the war ended.
Okay, the third question is, do you know the reasons why nationalists and communalists want to attack Manchuria?
Um, as we know that Manchuria is very gracious places. It happens near lots of borders like Soviet Unions and Japan. So because the borders locations, they have lots of the mineral resources, as the introduction mentioned that. And the Soviet Union using the territory of Manchuria to expanding their places. Of course, the Manchurians cannot bear any internal threat because we want the natural resources to maintain for China's power. And we also want Mao Zedong to help each of the territory missing to be unified, make the China being complete.
Next question is, what caused you have the idea to add George Marshall inside of book?
We know George Marshall is a general, is not a president in U.S., but his appearance to make the nationalists and communists can be stopped for a while, but not forever. So because after the Second Sino-Japanese Wars happened in 1946, the whole war is being a mess. So the CCP, which is Communist Party, and Kuomintang, which for Nationalist Party, they all have the open conflict. They never been trying to be peaceful and to be trying to be quieter after the invasion of the Soviet Union and Japan. And these countries always fighting, and until all appearance can make their both parties to be a little much more conscious about why the country should be unified again.
And the last question is, after the military and political struggles between these two parties, do you think China changed after 1946?
I think China has changed a lot after the 1946. We all know 1949 on October 1st, China was finally independent in the Tiananmen Square by pronouncing by Mao Zedong. But we also want to hear that that political things after we changing from the Cultural Revolution, which is happening lots of years later, and for the societies, China being learn how to be grown up, and we never see the failures happening in modern China's after the war of 1946. Do you have more questions?
No, that's all.
Okay, thank you for all your 5 wonderful questions, and I'm greatly to see that you can read my books, and I hope you can enjoy my other books. This is my book's name called The Battle for Manchuria and the Fate of China's Siping 1946. If you want to read more, listen more, please answer me more questions via email. Thank you.
Thank you.